Hello everyone and welcome to this video. The sun is out, oh my goodness, and today is my day off work. It is Tuesday, I think it's like 10 a.m. and I've come out to my favourite park and I'm gonna find a spot and set up for today's video. So, for today's video, it is inspired by the fact that life is literally crazy. Oh my god, not the wind. Okay, I've switched spots and I've got my tripod set up. This is the POV. I am sat in the shade because honestly it is a little bit hot. I think it's literally 26 or 27 degrees right now, and I'm hoping that being by the trees is going to shield me from the wind a little bit. I also have noise cancelling earphones on because I'm kind of like, let me block out the noise, literally and figuratively, because, oh, whoops, don't mind me, we're in this together, we're setting up my tripod together, but literally, as in, of course, noise cancelling, but figuratively because I know there's going to be quite, maybe some people walking by. A lot of people like to walk in this park, which is very nice, and they will be walking by this path right here. I hope that even caught it on camera, but I need to say no to social anxiety, so I'm blocking out the noise literally and figuratively. Okay, hi, we are on this bench and it's Maggie, and today, as I was saying, this video is inspired by the fact that life is super crazy, and I'm currently 23 years old, about to turn 24 next month, and I have this feeling that the rest of this year a lot of change is going to happen. Already so much has happened, especially in the last 5 years. And in this video, I kind of want to document the brief summary of main milestones that have happened in my life so far. And obviously that's crazy. Like, I could literally make a video that's so long, but I want to attempt. I am a yapper, so we're gonna see. I want to attempt to make this video not too long. So let's get started. I was born and raised in London, as you can probably tell from my accent. I moved from North London to South London when I was 8 years old, and that's where I grew up for majority of my life. I went to an all-girls grammar school. Let's quickly skip past that bit for high school. War flashbacks, honestly. That's definitely in a future video, I'm sure. Maybe it will somehow, maybe sometime I will want to make a video of it, but already I feel like my body's having a visceral reaction. Anyone who has gone to an all-girls high school or knows anyone who went to one will relate to that. Anyway, so after that I went to a math school in London, and it was called King's College London Mathematics School. I absolutely adore this place with my entire heart. Oh my goodness. And it was actually, shout out to my friends Lottie and Gina. I love you guys, who literally got me through my time in secondary school, the all-girls grammar school. And it was Gina who recommended me this school. She was looking to switch sixth forms and came across King's Math School. I kind of thought at first, I was like, I do really love maths. I am a nerd. I do really love maths, and during that time it was quite interesting because I was actually deciding between whether I was going to go down a more creative route. So I really love textiles. I was maybe like fashion design, this type of thing, or go down a more STEM route, or have a mixture of both. And although my school offered the opportunity to have a mix of the different A-levels, I really was not vibing with the environment, the mindsets of the people, and I felt very not myself, basically. And when I went to King's Math School, I remember going on the open day and I absolutely fell in love with this place. Oh my goodness. I just thought, I cannot believe a place like this even exists. the teachers, you could tell, and obviously on open days, like, they're a little bit more like showy. They know that people are coming and they're putting their best performance on, but I could just tell very, very authentically that they were very passionate about teaching, about maths. And honestly, I know that makes me sound like a complete nerd, but I just adore maths and I think it's beautiful. And when I went to this school, I remember it's in central London, and at the time I think the school started in like 2014 and I was the 2017 cohort, and so it was still really, really new. And it's not like anything totally like flashy. It's like a state funded school, and there's like whiteboards all around, and it's all you really need. You just need something. You can put a pen to the paper, pen to the whiteboard, and the passion. And God, were those two things there. It was one of the best decisions that I made in my life. I honestly felt like from that point forward, the direction of the path that I went down in terms of like education, that type of thing, I feel very, very lucky and very grateful. So that does not mean that it was free from trials and tribulations, but that's okay. It's all coming of age. So I went to King's Maths, absolutely adored that. Everyone in that school studied maths, further maths, physics, and then as a fourth we did AS level, either economics or computer science, and I did computer science. I don't know why I said that. I did economics, I did not do computer science. Also, it's so funny, I don't know whether I'm shouting because the noise cancelling, like I can only hear a really muffled version of my voice, so I can always adjust that in the volume. But yeah, so I went to a math school. We call it nerd school. We love it so much. It was such a special place. I think it shaped so much of my attitude towards learning as well. And thank God, because obviously, as we know, maths gets a bad rep, guys. It gets a bad rep. And I think from very early on, there were some really awful teachers who traumatize people and don't teach maths in a way that can actually show how beautiful it is. And if that makes me a nerd, then I'm a nerd. So after that, I was obviously going through the whole uni application process, and I got into St Andrews University in Scotland. I remember that in itself is like a whole process, which again I'll talk about in another video because I want to try and keep this video short. It's just a little brief run through for the milestones. But I remember I wasn't highly considering at first when I put down my initial applications. It was kind of just like, okay, it's a good uni, but it's in Scotland. And then I remember my parents were like, well, maybe we should just check it out. Like, why not? Let's go to the open day. This is quite an important decision. I remember going, typical Scotland, it was pouring down with rain, and I was on one of the tours with the student ambassadors, and I completely fell in love. Oh my God, this school was so, in the best way, weird and wonderful. Like, on the tour, the student ambassador was telling me all about these traditions they had. They have one where on the 1st of May at sunrise, you run into the sea to cleanse yourself of your academic sins. And the uni's by the coast. So I was like, what do you mean? Like, that is crazy, but it sounds so much like my cup of tea. And from that point, like hearing about all the traditions, all of the wacky stuff that like gets the community together, I was like, oh, I can see how so many of, especially like people who I was in like King's Maths with, who were like, you know, live, breathe and eat mathematics, which, you know, tea, but I'm not 100% mathematics. So, you know, already these different aspects were coming out, but I just felt like, oh, I know that wouldn't be a lot of people's cup of tea, but when I went and I was hearing the stories, they have something called academic families, I just thought, this is me. And again, the same feeling that I had with King's Maths as well, thinking that I can't even believe a place like this exists. And I genuinely, these two experiences were the start of me really, really believing that fate is a thing. Because each time I feel like I didn't think it was even possible for a place like this to exist. And then the universe just brought it to me. So I'm like, thank you, universe. Thank you to the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. So, yeah, that was University of St Andrews. I started on a joint maths and physics degree, and after the first semester I kind of was feeling like I'm not fully vibing with physics. Still love to the subject, but I think it was especially the lab work. Oh my goodness, the lab work literally made me be like, I don't think I can do this. I don't think I can do this. And they were about like, I want to say 3 hours. And I remember, especially in the winter times, I would go in, you know, do the lab work. I would find most of them really, really, really boring, to be honest. And then I would go out and it would be pitch black because it's Scotland, and in the winter the sun would set at 3:30 p.m. so no thank you. I was like, nah, this is deep now, like I can't do this. So I kind of thought, I really still love the maths. Hi, I'm Maggie, I love maths. And I was like, let me keep that, but let me fade the physics. And during this time as well, it was COVID, by the way, because I entered university 2019, September 2019, and then COVID happened. And oh my goodness, that obviously is a whole thing in itself. But I was kind of going through the trenches, as was so many people, of course. I think especially for me, it was like mentally, and I got more of an interest towards psychology. And I feel like, as anyone who is an 18-year-old turning 19, that sort of age, a lot of self-discovery, a lot of existential crises, and I just thought psychology was sick. I was like, this is cool. And through that, part of something that I did was I was speaking to my academic advisor and kind of saying, I think I want to drop the physics, but I want to definitely stick with maths. But I want to see if I can pick up some modules in psychology. And she was like, you realize we have a joint maths and psychology degree? And I was like, oh my God, that's cool. And I think that's a really unique thing about St Andrews, that they have very niche degrees. It's also very, very, I forgot to mention this part, it's so international. So I really felt like I met so many people from so many different backgrounds. I'm a yapper. So I was socializing with everyone left, right, and center, and I loved it. I was like, this is awesome. You know, people would also be saying their journeys of where places they've lived, where they grew up. And obviously I feel like a running theme was like, oh, you know, like I was born in America, and then I lived a few years in France, and then we moved to Dubai for my dad's job. And I'm just here like, oh, I moved from North London to South London, the end. That's my story. But I just found it so awesome. I was like, this is cool. So many mix of different, I think it was just very like well-rounded vibes. And that's why I feel like the foundations of why this uni suited me so much. So I was like, hell yeah, let's do maths and psychology. So I switched. My original degree as well was so funny because Scottish degrees are 4 years, and for the bachelor's degrees, and I did direct second year entry for maths and physics, so it would have just been like a, I guess, normal English lengthed degree for bachelor's, which is 3 years. But once I did the switch, because I'd never done psychology before, I started from first year, and it meant that I was in university for 5 years in total, which is crazy. As mentioned, the past 5 years has been insane, because this is my first year out of university. So that's why I feel like I want to document this. I want to have this capsule of time, because it really feels like a little bit of a pivotal shift is happening, and that's exciting. So I just want to capture it, how messy and chaotic it's been. But yeah, uni changed my life. There was also, obviously, started on joint maths and physics, direct secondary entry, changed to, I wouldn't say it was a 360, but it was like a 180 to maths and psychology. And through that route, I then was kind of able to do study abroad. So apparently loads of people go to St. Andrews because of their study abroad opportunities. But I think before, especially being in like a STEM environment, I guess, and very, very like academics focused, I didn't really know about, I guess, the whole, obviously I always knew like I want to travel, but maybe that would look like working in a job for a couple years, saving up this money, and then like, you know, going to travel. Like that was my perception of it. And I think uni and meeting the people there opened my eyes to the other just self-discovery aspects of travel, expanding your worldview, all that good stuff, all that good and I guess cliche sounding stuff, but cliche for a reason. So originally I couldn't really apply to it, or not couldn't, but it was kind of this whole thing, especially there's the options that you have for the universities are also dependent on your subjects, and I don't think there was as many for maths and physics, especially because maths and physics at St. Andrews was already really strong. So I think the mentality was kind of like, well, why would you go to a different uni for it, especially abroad? But then when I switched to psychology, it was a different playing field now, and I kind of was like, well, I'm open to this idea, I'm going to look into it. And when I looked into it, again, this is also, I love how I've been yapping for like literally almost, it's been more than 15 minutes, but I'm like, this is such an abbreviated version. But I remember looking at the different options, and the one that stuck out to me was University of Melbourne. And again, this is so much of this, like if you've been following my channel for a while, like you've been new, like those vlogs, they're out. You can obviously check out the video footage of the backstory, the lore, the memories, but I remember that one just stuck out to me so much. And of course, because why wouldn't it, they had a specific, because it's such a popular choice, they had a very specific dedicated information session about it. And I was like, oh hell yeah, like I'm gonna attend this, I'm gonna see what's up. And after attending the session, I was like, I am in love. There is a common theme here. I was like, I must follow this feeling. And they told us, they gave us a heads up. They were like, this is the most popular choice. Like, we recommend, even in general, like even if it's not to the University of Melbourne, to apply for a range of opportunities, like maybe around like 3 to 5-ish. This is what I was told. But I literally thought to myself, I was looking at the other options and I was like, listen, none of these excite me as much as University of Melbourne. For me personally, I don't think any of these other ones feel right, and fuck it, let's do it. All my eggs in one basket. All my eggs in, go. All my eggs in one basket. And I literally dedicated my entire application to University of Melbourne, and I popped my back into this application. And shout out to Oliver, which more on this later. Shout out to Oliver. Oliver is an incredible writer, full stop. And Oliver helped me so much with my application. Oliver, I know you're watching this. I cannot thank you enough. We already know, behind the camera, in front of the camera, we know, we've been you. But shout out to Oliver. Literally don't know what I would do without you. And that writing application, I remember I was like drowning in deadlines, drowning in I already said deadlines, but coursework, all of that. It was like peak deadline season. But I was like, I just need to get this application in. Me and Oliver literally were on FaceTimes for hours ironing this out. Again, what an incredible friend. Got this application in. You already know how this ends. I got in. I was in Pret when I found out, and I was with 2 friends studying. When I tell you, so I opened my email, I saw the subject line that it was like the results, and I was like, guys, like they already knew like the vibes, and I was like, I'm going to go to the bathroom now. I go into the bathroom. My heart is literally pounding so hard it's gonna fall out of my butt. It's gonna fall out of my stomach, you know. Jesus. And then I opened the email and it said, congratulations, we are done. Oh my god, I cried. I came back out bawling my eyes out, obviously at first because I'm in tears. They're like, is it happy or sad tears? I'm like, I got in, oh my goodness. And I just remember like Pret was so busy and everyone was staring at me. Loads of students were there studying. I mean, it wasn't like silent or anything, but like it was giving, what is going on? And I was just sobbing, like any social anxiety or fear deleted, sobbing my absolute eyes out. Oh my goodness, I just knew like my life is going to change. And obviously, I think that was like a year before I actually went on the study abroad. So obviously a lot of that time was like preparing, searching up the flight, figuring out accommodation, like all of that. Obviously God bless to my university because they helped to financially support this opportunity. And I remember there was something called like the Turing scheme, which helped a lot with the funding side of things. So I am a very lucky girlie. And Jesus Christ, study abroad changed my life. Not to literally be a walking cliche again, study abroad changed my life. And a lot of those videos are obviously documented on my channel. And yeah, again, I think I'll go into this a different time, but if I was to like gun to my head had to say the main, I guess, roots or reasons of everything going back to why things change, I think I met a lot of people that were really, really same wavelength as me. And for all the time growing up until that point, obviously like I had my friends that I feel like little gems that I found through each of my experience, like even like that god awful all girls high school, and then the sixth form, and obviously at uni as well, of course. That's when I feel like it was a bit more leaning into finding people who I really resonated with, and some of my best friends during that time. But oh Jesus, I just remembered I forgot to talk about NCS. Anyway, I'll say that after. It's not that long, but I'll say it after. But I think I met a lot of people who are really similar to me. Like academically, grind, but it was like work hard, play hard. Like I am a party girl through and through, and I was like work hard, play hard. Creative interests as well, very social. I was like, this my shit. Like, and there was people who was like really sporty as well. I grew up doing dance, and then like mainly dance, and then dipping my toes in like some other sports, but I just thought like this is sick. And they had a lot of the same mindsets and mentalities, attitude, outlook on life as me. And honestly, I was like I felt like I was home. I felt like, oh, where have you guys been all my life? And it was very international as well. We had people from, and you know who you are, we had Germany, we had Singapore, we had Barcelona, we had Sweden, we had Hong Kong, of course, we had Australian. My long distance bestie, Liv. I met her on study abroad. Oh, it's a whole thing. But yeah, I love how I was like brief summary, but I think a plane just went by. That was what that huge shadow was. But I met people on my study abroad who I was like, this literally changed my life. And all up until that point, my point being, I kind of had accepted as well, like I've never before Melbourne, before study abroad, I never really had like a friendship group. Like I would have, as I said, like my individual friends and like honestly very beautiful and deep connections with them. But I noticed, you know, in high school it can be very cliquey and those types of things, and I was like, why don't I like fit in necessarily to like like stereotypical friendship group? And through the years, like especially I think when I was maybe like 15, 16, 17, I was like, damn, like is there something wrong with me? Like I used to, and I think just before I got to study abroad, I finally got to the point where I'd like reflected, I'd like processed and like just reflected on things enough to the point where I kind of was a bit more accepting that, you know what, it's different for everyone. And I think for me personally, this is actually not a bad thing. This is a beautiful thing that I have these more so individual connections instead of having a typical friendship group. And then the heavens opened, and when I got to Melbourne, for the first time in my life, I properly had a friendship group, and having them as friends and hanging out with them literally made me feel like, oh, this is why like I didn't have one before. Like this totally makes sense. Like it wouldn't have been like, this is beautiful. Like I just felt so myself, and I'd already started my YouTube channel by then. And I remember just like the first vlog that we did, it was actually, guys, it's this vlog, it's the St. Kildas vlog. It was a festival. It was literally like the best day of my life so far, and I am so, cannot even put into words how grateful I am that I captured it. And I just remember I was like, oh, like guys, like I'm thinking of making a YouTube video, like is that okay with you guys? Like it was more checking if people were comfortable with it, and everyone was literally like, absolutely, like yes, like that sounds so great. I was like, I've never been met with this much positivity over like just an idea of something that I want to do, and it literally, I could cry about it. I could literally cry. But I remember when we were filming as well, like everyone was literally keen to get in the, like they were like, oh yeah, like, and then they were like, oh, Maggie, film this bit, and I was like, holy shit. Like I was like, I've never felt so accepted. And it comes across like in the videos as well, especially like obviously whilst you're watching it you can see it so clearly, and then at the end as well, like I literally write like basically I've just never felt like so myself before. Oh my god, I'm literally gonna cry. But as you can tell, that changed my life. And I think also being in Australia and like a lot of the, I guess like culture, the way that I was living, the way that people were living, like I just feel like it really opened my eyes and expanded my horizons. So yeah, and then I'm gonna quickly backtrack. When I was 17 or 18 years old, going in the summer before university, I went to NCS. Any UK person, rite of passage. Duke of Edinburgh, NCS. And NCS is basically like a 3-week summer program, and each of those weeks is something different. So you'll do like, one of them is like PGL styled basically. One of them, I forget now, like I'm low-key gonna maybe say this incorrectly, but you'll get the idea. One of them is like for like fundraising and charity, and then one of them you go and like stay at a university accommodation or something, and then you like learn a skill. I think my one was like drama, and I was in that group. But anyway, I think everyone has like, NCS is such like a polarizing, it's just like you either like love it or you hate it. I think most of the time people like gave it such a bad rep, and loads of people were like, oh, it's not like it's not cool to like it. But my wave, we call it like a wave, that's your like cohort, we had the best time. Oh my goodness, like it was so fun. Granted, like again, it wasn't, the people I met, like it was fun, it wasn't in the same way as like definitely like the people that I met in Melbourne. But I think like this group of people, like they taught me to have fun. Like we all like experienced clubbing together for the first time, like staying out till like a really unreasonable, ungodly hour, but fuck, middle of nowhere, going home. walking back in our clubbing outfits at 4 a.m. in the morning, scrimping on an Uber for that last leg back after the night bus, where we all sang Oasis songs at the top of our lungs. I still think I have some videos which I will dig out and show at a different time, I'm sure, in a different video. But yeah, walking home, freezing cold, UK, it's culture, it's British culture. But that is where I met one of my best friends, Amelia. Oh my God, I'm so lucky. I'm so lucky to have the people in my life that I do, genuinely. And I love Amelia so much. Amelia came and, wait, I'm skipping so many steps. This is the neurodivergent brain coming out. But I love how this video, I was like, please, like, let me try and keep it to 10 minutes. It's 30 minutes. We're here now. We're here now. We're in this together. We're all friends here now. Yeah, I met Amelia and she has been literally one of my bestest friends ever since. And fast forward, so we've done study abroad. That was crazy. I want to actually talk about starting my YouTube channel. Hello, here. It's so meta. But it's always been something, as I think, well, no, I know for many people that this is the vibes that they want to start a channel so bad. Ever since starting my channel, you know how many people have told me, I've always wanted to start a YouTube channel. I've always wanted to start a YouTube channel. I was like, damn, so it wasn't just me. And for ages, you know, I had these ideas, but as per usual, the whole thing of like, whether it be fear, whether it be insecurity, blah, 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 blah. And then it was Oliver, our dear friend Oliver, who I just remember we were in King's Cross station and I was about to return to uni. And Oliver, I was telling Oliver about all of my thoughts around this and just how I've just been wanting to start one, and I just for some reason can't. And I will definitely butcher the way that this was so beautifully delivered, but it was just one line where Oliver was like, why haven't you? Literally, why haven't you? Why? No, why? Why haven't you? Again, totally butchered like this whole thing, but you get the vibes. And I don't know how to explain it, but I think combined with how Oliver said it and also my friendship with Oliver and how much I feel just like it's a safe space, I'm known, and like the way that it was said was just very, very impactful on me, and it struck a chord within me. And I was like, fuck it, fuck all the fear. Like there's enough of that in the world, and there's enough of that here. But just what if, despite it all, I actually just pick up the camera and film a video? And that was when my first proper video was born, which is, you can scroll right back, obviously as a rite of passage being a YouTuber, the first video is always going to be a bit cringe. I just remember I felt so like, oh, exposed, like I feel so uncomfy. But it was a video where I was like dyeing my hair, and it's called New Semester, New Hair. It's giving new beginnings. It's giving the clouds have parted. It's giving she finally started the thing that she's always been wanting to start. And ever since having a YouTube channel, it's literally changed my life. I'm not gonna go on about it because this video will literally be hours and hours more longer. That was not even correct English, but we move. But yeah, it literally has changed my life, and I love YouTube so much. It is one of the only things in my life that I just feel like so sure of in my soul and my bones that it's what I need to be doing. Like the creating stuff, bringing my ideas to life, the self-expression, even an ode and honor to my younger self and my teenage self who always wanted to make videos, I grew up watching YouTube as similar to so many of us. But I'm so happy now, and I think even with all of the doubts and everything, I think that every time I hit upload, it's a win. Like I try and brainwash myself, and I'm like, listen girl, even if Even if you upload a video of yourself and it's like the most boring piece of shit ever, it's actually a miracle that, first of all, you have a YouTube channel. Second of all, cameras exist to be able to do this beautiful thing that is documenting life. And yeah, I just think it's all like kind of magical. And so yeah, ever since starting my channel, it's been a whole journey, as you can imagine. A mental journey, as well as just learning things on the way. I literally edit everything on CapCut on my phone. I'd be that girl on the train, editing my videos on my little rectangle brick. So yeah, and then after study abroad, I came back and I finished my degree. Thank God for that. Jesus Christ. I think that all the way up until before my final year, I was like, yeah, like uni, like yeah, it was like very chaotic all the time. And then final year, I was like, oh, I need to earn this degree now. Like academically, I need to lock in so hard, like I've never locked in before. It was kind of deep. Like as with anyone who's gone to uni, I'm sure understands. I actually had to do 2 dissertations. I don't want to talk about it, at least not right now. I had to do one for maths and one for psychology. Maths was more like it was a project instead of like a conventional like full like pages and pages of written. Granted, there was a lot of writing, but it was like maths project and then also psychology dissertation. Guys, I feel like it aged me, that whole final year. I'm sure anyone who's done a degree or just anything of that vibe can relate. But yeah, I finished my degree, thank the Lord. In my final year, when this chaos was going on academically, and oh yeah, I definitely, like, after coming back from my study abroad, like, I was thinking, like, damn, like, I had a massive crash. Like, it was such a high that I literally thought, like, how am I going to top this? Like, how is it even possible? The people I met, the experiences I had, obviously, like, also being basically, like, heavily funded by the university. I was like, damn, like, what is literally left for me? What is left for me? And I really wanted to travel more, but I didn't know how that was going to happen. Spoiler, the universe came in clutch again. It just came in clutch. And it's crazy because I think talking about it in such a condensed way, it makes me feel like, Mags, like, how can I ever be sad? Like, I've had so much to be grateful for, but we will get to this. We will get to the mental torment and trials and tribulations. But I came back grinding on the academics, and this opportunity came up. And I remember when the email came up, the subject line literally made me think, is this a scam? Like, is this actually a scam? It was like, are you interested in a fully funded global internship? And I remember thinking, who in their right mind wouldn't be? As sure as this grass is green and the sky is blue right now, who wouldn't be interested in a fully funded global internship? Hello? So it was an opportunity that is through this program, an organisation called Entrepreneurial Scotland. And I was like, holy shit, like, this is cool. Like, what? Obviously we have all of these people on social media, I'm an entrepreneur, like da da da, and like slay. Maybe some of them are, but I think even in St Andrews it was the same. But I did come to realise that a lot of it was AKA, I am using daddy and mummy's money to do this thing and da 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 da. Anyway. More on a different video, I'm sure. But I was like, okay, like, I guess parts of entrepreneurship appeal to me because I think that logically, especially obviously when I was like very, very STEM focused, I was like, you know what, for some reason, it feels like the banks and corporate London doesn't speak to my soul personally. That's just me. No, with all due respect, I just felt like obviously this whole idea was very being like pushed of like what I should do, and like a lot of the people around me, and that's completely fine. Obviously, I just think for me, like, and as it turns out, which is very true, just aspects of my soul was like begging me to see that this was not the route for me. And I think that entrepreneurship was just like something that appealed to me, especially because it was kind of a holistic blend of like a lot of different things, and like obviously not for the faint-hearted. Like, I think you got to be a little bit weird to be interested in entrepreneurship. I had some experiences at uni as well with some societies that I've been part of, which gave me a taste of it, and I was like, oh, this is crazy, like this is cracked, like this is literally like you will look the devil in the eyes if you choose to do anything in the taste of entrepreneurship. But essentially I thought to myself, well, I do want a fully funded internship, and this really feels like the universe kind of landed this in my lap, so might as well apply. And I remember it was like, obviously, as I said, the really crazy aspects of the academics of final year, brutal. And then I was like, but I think I need to apply for this, and it was like honestly giving same energy as that Melbourne application of struggling so much through the trenches of deadlines, like barely, like head was just above the water, like I'm drowning out here, but I was like, I just gotta apply to this, I gotta try. And fast forward through the application process, it was quite a long application process as well. It was like the initial application, and they had the options of doing it as video form or written application, and of course I was like, well, I am a YouTuber, I must make videos. So I answered the 5 different questions in 5 separate video forms, and I put a sprinkle of my little editing in there as well, Maggie styled. And I after that application, it was a assessment day, and then it was, what else was there? I think there was like this like psychometric test thing as well, and I was like, okay, thank God, like this is, you know what, whoever says maths can't be applied in the real life in the real world. But yeah, it was like kind of a long process. It was a few months, and through it as well, I was like, you know what, like this literally might end where I don't even get anything. But I was very, very lucky, and I got, in classic Maggie style, because there's always one, I actually got the very last international opportunity. So it was like international ones, and then also like in UK and Scotland. But I got the very final global one, and they said, you're gonna have to be really quick with your, like, they're like, congratulations, I'm crying on the phone, you're gonna have to be really, really quick, like literally start right now after this call to apply for your visa, because it's tight, like it's giving, the turnaround time is gonna give you whiplash. And I was like, holy shit, okay, like I'm literally in the handing period of my dissertations. Oh my God, I'm literally getting war flashbacks thinking about it. But somehow she persisted, and I literally, because it was a summer opportunity, 10 weeks, I didn't even go to my graduation because my graduation was in the summer. But I was like, it's fine, like I'm low-key done with uni, and like bun that, like just send me the certificate in the post, it's okay. So I remember I finished my degree in May. I came back, I might get the dates wrong, but I think that my internship started right at the beginning of June. Like I left, and it was Boston, America, and it was an opportunity. These words coming out my mouth is insane, but like it's like so much accredited to this program. They have they're amazing. Like in the future, when I'm making the big Maggie bucks, fully donating to this, a fat sum, and that's my word. You can take my word for it. This program changed my life. But I had an internship to intern to the CEO of a scale-up company which worked in the alcoholic beverage industry. And my goodness, again, changed my life. Like, it's just been canon event after canon event of like insane things happening, and then chaotic and messy, and then this thing happens and I'm like, what the hell is going on? I'm flying to this different country for this thing that's going to change my life, and it's all going so fast that I'm like, I haven't even taken a breath this whole time. But yeah, so that was 10 weeks in Boston, and very surprisingly, this was quite unexpected. This was actually an era where I got a lot more in touch with my creative side. So I've always been a creative person, but I think especially like low-key, like growing up in the UK, and like, sorry UK, like love you guys, but also like it's a love-hate relationship, because I really feel like I'm not built for the UK. Even having the sunshine hitting my face right now, I'm like, I'm just not built for the UK. There's not enough sunshine, literally and figuratively. Literally self-explanatory, and figuratively because I just felt like everyone was a dream killer. Like, I'm sorry, but just so much negativity. And when I was in high school as well, it was giving like, because I was a little bit more out there, like I was getting bullied, like Jesus Christ, like it was just anyone who has any sort of idea that is a little bit outside of the norm, like immediately, you're a weirdo, it's never gonna work out, like it's only luck, or like, you know, if you have X, Y, or Z that you're gonna, I just hated it. Like I just really was like, I can't be myself. And obviously that had its effects like afterwards still. Obviously I was like, I'm loosening myself of the chains that are holding me back. But it was really Boston where I felt like I met people that just completely made me be like, oh, I can fully give myself the permission to chase my dreams and go towards doing what I love. Like I can do that. And like I met people who inspired me so much. To this day, like it has like huge ripple effects, like in honestly everything that I do. Like it just changed my brain chemistry completely, and I'm so beyond grateful. Like I think I'll look back and all of these things that I've described, I'll be like, yeah, I can see the exact things and factors and experiences that brought me to where I am. But yeah, I think like that was crazy. And obviously I knew it was going to be life-changing, but it was life-changing in not only the amount, that was way more than my expectations, but also different routes. Like I just didn't really realize that like my creative side would be so brought out by my experiences in Boston and who I met in Boston. So that was really special, and it pushed me further to like even a lot of the videos that I have started to create, and ideas that I'm bringing to life, and ideas that I do have that I am in the process of bringing into life, is like honestly because of my experiences in Boston. So yeah, and in the same spirit of there being a really, really quick turnaround between the time of me graduating university and leaving for America, I think it was already in my last semester that I was kind of like, I really want to, again, I need to think about what I'm doing after university. And it was actually in the process of applying to a different opportunity, which was like gonna be like a full year scholarship for doing a master's in America, but I got rejected for that. And it's so cliche because they're always like, oh, like even if you get rejected, like you'll learn a lot from the process. And I learnt a lot, like putting on paper what I wanted from this opportunity, the scholarship one that I was applying, sorry, not the Boston one, like the other one, the year-long one, putting that on paper and like bringing that out of me, and honestly basically saying what I want to gain out of that year, made me realize just that, like what I want to get out of that year. And then realizing when I got rejected from it, those things are not dependent on something external to me. And especially now looking back, like it wouldn't have been the right thing for me to go to this like year-long opportunity especially I think like being in like formal academic education for that year as well, it just wasn't the right thing. And it just makes me like laugh with joy, because at the time I was so distraught that I got rejected, and I just thought it was like, this is the end. Like, again, it's giving everything in your early 20s feels like it's the end of the world. But instead I basically applied to this opportunity that I'm doing right now, and inspired by, very much motivated, and it was my friend Fizzy, who I met at university. She's one of my best friends. Fizzy, she actually said to me, hey, like, I feel like from the things that you've been saying, and like, especially one aspect was that I kind of realized, and it was inspired by people I met in study abroad in Melbourne, people from the same background, because I should have mentioned this at the beginning of the video actually, I kind of forgot. Like, so I'm Chinese, I'm fully Chinese. My parents, my mum and dad are Chinese, but I was born and raised in London, so that's the background. And I met a lot of people who were from the same kind of walk of life as me, like they were Asian heritage, but they grew up in the West. And they inspired me a lot, because I think they had, first of all, their Mandarin and their just language skills were so much stronger than mine. I was like, holy shit. Like, obviously I felt a bit like, oh, but I also felt like this is so cool. And I would like sometimes converse. It was so funny because like on the way back from like nights out, I would sometimes converse with them a little bit in Mandarin, and it felt like a different part of me that like was so, it was like such a homely feeling, but like something that I didn't engage with so much. And obviously growing up in the West, especially I think like UK is kind of giving like a lot of, I grew up with a lot of like internalized shit, you know, a lot of internalized like xenophobia, like all of this stuff. And going to Melbourne, and then also Melbourne has a really awesome like influences from like Asian culture, and they had like, whether it be food or just like the people as well, like I thought it was really, really cool. And actually Boston as well. And obviously like, yes, there were like international experiences before, but not in the same way as like in particular Melbourne. It was a lot more like embraced and more like immersed in the culture, not so much like, because I feel like sometimes it feels a little bit like, oh, we're doing this to like kind of check a box, and like, oh, we've got a Chinatown, and like, you know, anyway, I'm not gonna get too into that. But I was really thinking like, I actually do want to improve my Mandarin, and I want to know my own background a little bit more, and I think I want to embrace that side of me a lot more. And so I remember speaking about this to Fizzy, and Fizzy was like, well, you know what, combined with this and also like travel and this stuff, like you don't need to go to like a different place. Like, why don't you literally just go to China and do an English teaching job there to like teach little kids? Because I love kids, like I've always said. I just think that like before I've done like maybe a little bit of like babysitting or even like tutoring, and like some of that being young kids, but I'm like, I just feel like I need to be surrounded by kids for something that I do, whether it be like a year and stuff like that. And all of this came together, and Fizzy was like, I literally saw this in my search of like just looking at like LinkedIn and stuff like that, and she was like, you should do this, like you should go to China and teach English for a year. Like that's a thing that people do. And obviously I'd seen that before, but I'd never considered it for myself, like ever, like for whatever reason. And then I was like, the things that had been happening, and like whether it be the experiences, also the rejections, like I was kind of like, yeah, I'm open to considering it. So I looked into it, and I was just thinking to myself, even the very fact of me going back, going to somewhere where I've visited China, and I've gone with like family holidays and stuff like that, staying with grandparents, because the rest of my family are all in China. It's only me, mum, dad and my younger sister who are in London. And I thought even the very fact that I would go back and experience it as someone who is living in China will be something that just, I feel like something, I've got to learn something from that, and that's got to contribute to my personal development. So I was like, fuck it, let's do it. I took my TEFL, did all those aspects, and here I am. I moved here September, beginning of September, and it is, God, not windy so long, like my tripod's low-key like shaking a little bit, lol. Oh well. Also there's so many people walking by, like, especially now. I thought it was going to be calmer, because it's like literally the hottest time of day. I think it's literally reached 30 degrees now. But anyway, that's fine. Beep bop, beep bop. I have been here since beginning of September, and it has been half a year, so I'm exactly through my halfway point. So much of the first half year was literally like trying to settle in, struggling through like all of this shit, but it's been great. There's never a dull day with the kids, I will say that part. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's awful. Sometimes these kids make me feel like, wow, I cannot, like, life is so amazing, man. Like, I cannot wait to have my own kids in the future. And then some of these kids literally make me feel like I never want to see a kid again. Like, I just, and to be fair, I've said this again and again, any of the devilish, crazy, naughty kids is only karma returning to myself, because I know that I was a little monster. I was a little shit. Like, I was really, really insane and bonkers and crazy. So I'm like, you know what? It's just karma coming back to me, returning to me. But yeah, I'm very, very grateful, and I do think that my Mandarin has strengthened quite a lot. It's quite funny because I went to Chinese school, and obviously I grew up and my parents are Chinese, so my listening skills, I can pretty much like understand everything. I have some very like basic foundations from Chinese school, but I stopped when I was 15 after I took the GCSE, and I kick myself because I'm like, oh, like at that time I was like so just like, oh, I just want to get this over and done with, like this is such a chore. And now I'm like, Jesus, like I really do wish that I stuck with it. But obviously the best time to start was before, and the second best time to start is now. I don't even know how the saying goes, but you know the one. But it's funny because I think my speaking has strengthened quite a lot. I understand majority, but I cannot read Chinese, and obviously I look Chinese, but then my style is giving she's not from around here. But God, the wind is so strong. I hope that it's not having too much of an effect on the sound. But yeah, it's definitely also navigating like the working world has posed many challenges, but I've definitely learned to have very thick skin. I am a very confrontational person. That has come from off the back of different life experiences, and also like standing up for myself and communicating certain things, making sure that I'm not getting exploited, because I think that with a lot of these year-long opportunities that they know it's a lot of people like us is coming from the same boat, they can take advantage sometimes. So I'm like, no one is going to take away this experience from me, and like obviously I bring value, all of that jazz. So I've learned a lot. I'm halfway through my time. I feel like the dust has settled a little bit of me like swimming my way through trying to adapt to this new environment. And yeah, I'm at the point now where I'm just like, so much shit has happened, as you can tell from this currently 58-minute video. And especially it's been so up and down. So as with many people in my generation, in our generation, mental health struggles is a thing. And my goodness, it has been a series of I'm so back to I'm so cooked. Like it's been up and down. I have constantly felt like, especially since uni started, it's been I've struggled a lot with my mental health, and I think it's the same for like a lot of people, especially like so many factors. Like I don't think that the world of social media is built for our brains. I mean, this is like something like sounding like a broken record along with so many other people, but I think like there's such a weird thing going on. COVID, obviously, that whole experience of being in lockdown fucked with our brains heavy. I was not, along with a lot of people, I don't think we were very immune to that. And it's just been a series of constantly feeling like, oh my God, I've fallen into my biggest rock bottom, to, okay, I'm picking myself, I'm dragging my ass up now. Like, I'm yanking my dead corpse up, and I'm trying to relentlessly believe and hope and not let all of the devil and Satan win. Like, I refuse. I'm like, even if this shit kills me. I'm looking insane to like all of these like elderly people who are just trying to enjoy their Tuesday walk. But yeah, I feel like I wanted to say that as well, because I was like, it's starting to sound a little bit like it was all good and it was all slay. But I was like, my plan originally was like, let me go through the Whistle Stop tour and then like obviously acknowledge this bit where it's been like so chaotic. But I think the biggest difference now, and probably why I feel like ready to make this video, which sounds a bit weird, but like wanting to, like, felt a calling to make this video, is because I finally feel like I'm at a place where I'm like, you know what, the fact that I'm able to have an outlet of expression and like creating, and I know I'm never gonna stop, like even like nothing is gonna stop me, like unless it's literally physically impossible for me to set up a camera and make a video. Nothing's gonna stop me. Like, I just love this with my whole heart in ways that I can't even express in a sentence right now, and also ways that I probably can't even logically understand right now of why it means so much to me to make videos. But I think like creating things, I just want to continue that, and I'm really enjoying it. I'm trying to face a lot of overcoming the fears and like self-doubts that I have, which I've come to realize, like, and I've talked about this with my friends a lot recently, that I feel like so much of the world and like us and like just things in general, like we build cages for ourselves, whether that's also built on the fears from other people or just fears from past experiences. But like so much of it, it's not even to do with you. Like, so like I feel like a lot of this is like, it's not even to do with me anymore. It's like, whether that be, it's like something bigger than yourself, or it's like these things that I might think like, oh, is wrong about me, or like I'm insecure about. It's like, that came from something else. Like, that doesn't make it true or false. Like, so many things that I feel like the people that I look up to, and like interviews that I've watched of like some of the most inspiring people who are, you know, celebrities, and they've like found their quote unquote success and like fame and stuff. It's like they talk about stuff that I'm like, damn, like seeing it from the outside perspective is so refreshing, because then it makes me be like, hold on, how does that then make it any different from me? I feel like that made no sense, but like I'm trying to detach myself from things that are holding me back to enable me to do the things that I really want to do, if that makes sense. Like, if I have a fear about something or a doubt about something, instead of like I used to do, like take that as like, oh, that's a fact, like I can't do this because XYZ. I've come to exercise the muscle of questioning it, and even if I can't find the answer to retaliate it, I just do it anyway. I'm like full send. Like, I'm like, okay, yeah, well, if this is a piece of shit, then like let it just be a piece of shit. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, even if that's the bottom line, and then that, I think that means that from that point forward I'll be able to keep creating the things that I want to make, because I'm like, I just don't want anything to stop me. I feel like I've gotten to such bad mental spaces and like literally faced the idea that like maybe death could be better than this, maybe leaving this earth is the answer. I'm kind of like, you know what, like honestly, what do I have to lose? Like, honestly, what do I have to lose? And like, if I just try and continue going in the direction that is of the best that I can do and the best of my perception of life right now, then I feel like that is something. So that's where I am at in life right now, and it's been a hell of a journey. I have definitely probably missed out some really crazy important parts, but I think that gives you an idea of the vibes that have been happening. I cannot believe that this video is over an hour long, and I'm not gonna cut any of this. Fuck it, I'm not gonna cut any of this. I already feel like yeah, I'm not gonna cut any of this, and that's cool. And I'm excited to hit upload. It's probably gonna load for ages, and I'm hoping during that time that nothing psychs myself out of not posting this video. But I have even some video ideas later on that I'm going to film that I'm excited to bring to life, and I cannot believe I have come to the end of this video. Let's go. Oh wait, actually, to end this video, I'm going to read out a section of my journal that whilst I was low-key waiting for, like, this lady was kind of sat really close to me, and I was like, oh, I do want to sit on this bench, but I don't want to, I was like, I'm not at that level yet. So I was like, kind of like, let me journal a little bit. And I opened to my previous entry, and I forgot that I wrote this, which is crazy. But I think I'm going to end this video by reading out this part. So this was actually written on Valentine's Day, 14th of February 2025, so just over a month ago. I started by saying, happy Valentine's Day, cuties. And I said, life is objectively cool and amazing, even when my depression clouds my judgment of it. Also, I spelled judgment wrong originally, like that's how fried my brain was at this stage. I saw a fucking beautiful reel on Insta last night, and the second to last clip reminded me so much of Melbourne. It possibly could have been a video of Melbourne, smiley face. And I am totally gonna do this series of logging my life, figure one, and checking in. I am in the lead up stage of it, and as per usual, brackets, as of lately, brainwashing myself for success. Success being the existence of this series and me making videos on YouTube, and also me just currently adding something, and me just like creating what I want to create and bringing my ideas to life. And I said, I'm excited. I put in capitals, hyped. I feel in my bones and my soul this is what I'm meant for, aka creating. And it feels so natural and right that it actually feels it's been inevitable this whole time. And then I put like 1,000,000 hearts. I said, the YouTube comment, which has been one of my absolute favorites ever, which I'm going to carry forward with me from this point forwards. Oh, this was a comment that was on my video of the time lapse of me setting up my piano that I got. And I literally wrote this 5 times. I'm not going to read it 5 times, but the comment said, this is so based. It's so funny. At the time, I didn't even know what that meant. I had to Urban Dictionary it. I was like, oh, I don't know, like, is this a hate comment, or is this like a positive thing? And then I'll put probably the definition here. Maybe this is the only editing that I'll do because it's so important to me. I might butcher it, but basically I was like, I want to go forward with this attitude of being unapologetically myself, despite it all, despite even the external hate, which honestly is just noise, man. Like, it's honestly just noise. And also, most importantly, any doubts I put upon myself. It's this thing, it really is just you against you. Like, it's so cliche, and you hear it over and over again, but only recently have I really shifted from being like, oh, like, you know, like, this is just like blah 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 blah, and like really resonating with it. Like, I'm like, oh, I get it now. Like, it genuinely is you against your own brain. And I feel like this whole time, through all of the experiences that I've had, I've been working on this. Like, that is the main thing. And also why I got so interested in psychology. Also, side note, oh my god, I forgot to mention this part, but like, in my first year, the reason also why I got so interested in psychology, like during the time in COVID, is because after my first semester, I was like going crazy. Also, I was like, definition of like putting, like, you know, in the circus when they're like, they got all those plates spinning on the sticks, and like just taking way too much, doing everything and anything, and like definition of the recipe for burnout. And I went from such a high, like I really enjoyed that first semester. I don't have any regrets, but like it was insane, and I was like partying all the time, no sleep. Like it was giving the Lady Gaga, like bus, club, another club, no sleep. That was the vibes, and it was fun, but like, and I, you know, a lot of cool shit happened from that, but honestly I crashed so bad that I had the worst crippling severe depression of my entire life. So bad that I had to drop out of uni temporarily. I took a leave of absence. My friends been new, like they're like, yeah Mags, we've been new, but I was like, I feel like it's good to talk about, include it. I want to include it in this video. It was so bad, like it was giving like, we might be really cooked this time, guys, like this might be the end. So this was like 18 years old, after first semester. It was the winter of 2019. COVID was creeping upon us. Jesus Christ. Hold on, I'm gonna drink some water. Let's take a break. I'm hot. Okay, we're back. So really, it's giving psych ward level. Like I had to go and take my leave of absence, and I was honestly thinking like, this is, I don't know I don't know how it's possible for me to return to university in my state that I'm in. Like, and also all I learned so much during that time. It was grueling healing journey, but I fucking did it, and we up, and it made me who I fucking am. Like I really do think like the greatest depths and darkest rock bottoms are just the birth and beginning of a new chapter, hopefully bringing you closer towards like the life that you want to live. Because I think like it made me ask myself a lot of questions. It made me reflect and really look into the mirror of like how I'm living my life, and like maybe what things led me to that point, you know. Like it was really a dark time, like, and since then there's been like 2 majorly dark times that again I was thinking like, am I gonna be able to come up from this? But somehow the human soul and the human mind is crazy. Like there's just this stubborn, unforgiving and relentless hope, I feel like, persists. But anyway, so I searched up this definition, and I was like, oh my goodness. Like I know obviously it should be like detach yourself from like external comments, even if it's good ones, like good ones, bad ones, but I just loved this so much, and I was like, no, this is a culture, like this is a concept. Like I wrote it 5 times. I wrote this is so based 5 times, and I was like, that's what I'm gonna try and embody. I want to be, so whoever commented that, know that you have inspired me so heavily. Like just that sentence. And I wrote afterwards in brackets, I dreamt that I wrote it down repeatedly, so I wanted to do it now. And I said, this is the last sentence, oh, and by the way, if it wasn't so clear already, I am an artist. And I put a little heart, I put a little star. That's how I ended this journal entry. And then I wrote the next one, which is like the one that I wrote just before this video. But yeah, that's where I'm at life right now. 23 years old. My name is Maggie fucking Woo, and I have a feeling that the rest of 2025 is gonna be kind of crazy, and I'm excited, and I am determined to do whatever it takes to create a life filled with things that bring me fulfillment, that light my soul up, and that is pretty cool. And I think that so much of ourselves we kind of doubt already, like where we're at, and we have so much shame, and we have so much just not valuing how far we've already come. But I think that the very fact that we're living and breathing and alive is an achievement. because shit is crazy. And I am happy that I documented this, and I will probably look back and be like, holy shit, that girl didn't even know what was coming. I have this feeling that not only is it not the end, but it's only just the beginning. Oh, and sorry, I know I said one final thing like 60 times, but actual final thing, a really cool cherry on top of all of this is that the year of 2025 is the year of the snake in terms of like the Chinese zodiac signs, and I am the year of the snake. So it is something called, this is what my colleagues told me, it's called your golden year, and it's like where, because it matches your zodiac sign, it's like extra opportunities and stuff like that. And I was like, holy shit, like that's just so what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know, so on brand? I don't know. But so, I guess like in line with this whole thing. And I forget the last thing that I was saying. Beep bop, beep bop. 2025, year of the snake. Oh, and it's so cool that I'm in China for it. So yeah, I'm gonna finish off this next half a year, probably move to a different country after, but before that I will spend some time in London because, oh my god, I miss my friends so much. But yeah, okay, thank you so much for watching. I literally feel like we are bonded and connected on another level because you have watched 1 hour and basically 20 minutes of me yapping. And if you want to check out the law, I highly would recommend. I think you will enjoy. If you enjoyed this video, you will most definitely enjoy the video documentation, live documentation, and creations of the vlogs of some of these things that I've talked about. I started from that first semester, and obviously I knew I was going to Melbourne, so those videos are so special to me. I'll probably make a playlist on my channel of like my personal favorites, just so like they're there, because some of those videos are like really special to me. They've documented some of my core memories. So yeah, I love you so much. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being on this journey with me. Even if you watch this video and you never watch a different one again, I think that's cool. I think it's cool that YouTube is even a thing, and I'm so grateful. Shout out YouTube, shout out to past Maggie, shout out to future Maggie, shout out to present Maggie, and have a lovely day. Bye. I'm gonna eat lunch because I'm starving, and I also have been bursting for a wee this whole time. Okay, bye, love you.